This building, Delaware trying to make some changes tonight. It's Goss and Miller to tip this one away as they're in their home whites, going left to right as we see it here in Newark. Goss and Miller tip it, and as Goss seemingly always does, he gets it right to Kevin Anderson. We're underway.
And we'll see a lot of man-to-man from College of Charleston to play. Very little zone play, a little bit of pressure from time to time other than their point guard pickup.
I love that Mutz gets the basketball first, goes off the window, off the mark, but the play, although it didn't finish, was a nice design. Charleston does not have shot erasers in their lineup. The best shot blocker is Sam Miller, and he only has 11 on the year. Charleston with the basketball. Galloway is the point guard. He has it up top to Riller. That's the man you want to watch for tonight. Brings it right to left. Now back out beyond the arc. High dribble. Between the leg dribbles. Guarded by Darling. A pull up for three. Delaware like that. And he misfires. He shoots a lot from three. Does not make a lot. 24%.
He's had trouble finding that range. He's so good in the mid-range. I'm a little surprised he didn't force his issue inside. Got to stay down on the shot fakes by him.
Anderson gave Mutz a bounce pass towards the rim. Mutz lost his footing and missed the shot. On the other end, Galloway a quick three and a quick miss. Back to Delaware it goes. Goss with the rebound.
Even though they got the look, Delaware was transitioning very quickly. Justin Mutz down at the other end got confronted by that McManus, who's pretty long-armed and physical as well. He's just got to slow down a little bit inside.
Mutz with the basketball now beyond the arc. An 0-for-2 start for Justin Mutz. He shoots over 50% on the season. Ryan Allen lines up with three, and he's off the mark. Offensive board, Mutz, one dribble, back up, and in. Finally, the first bucket for either team. It's 2-0 Delaware.
That's that offensive hustle activity that Justin Mutz brings to the team. He went over top of Grant Riller without fouling to get Skura the rebound, and then, as you mentioned, Miller, not much of a shot blocker, could not contest that putback.
I love Justin Mutz in this matchup tonight. As they go inside to Miller. Miller with a flush. 26th dunk of the season for Sam Miller.
And they keep those stats, does Charleston. They must love them down there. But Miller slipped the ball screen on the heavy side of the court. There was no help on the backside, and that allowed really nice pass from Riller to Sam Miller rolling down the lane.
Bill showed me the game program earlier. Said, hey, you know, they keep track of dunks. That's the only reason I knew that was a 26th dunk. Colin Goss to the right side. Gets it to go. And he loves getting that ball in that left block and working towards his right hand.
He is really good at going to his left shoulder. He has good balance, a variety of moves inside, a little shot fake there to get Miller off balance, and a nice finish off the rim to soften up the shot.
4-2, Delaware leads. We're 2.5 minutes into this one. First touch for Jasper. He gets it in the corner to Galloway. Galloway is their top three-point shooter. 26 makes on 73 attempts, but he is 0 of 2 after that miss from the right side. And Darling will walk the basketball up. Jasper picks him up at half court. Darling had 21 on Saturday, now driving right past Miller and scooping and scoring is Nate Darling. And again, no interior problems defensively caused by Charleston.
Typically Charleston hard hedges the ball screen, meaning the defender of the screen jumps out aggressively, but that time Nate Darling messed him up by rejecting the screen, and there's Riller attacking. We've got to have some help, and he's got to see bodies in the lane when he goes, Scott.
And what we just saw and described to you is two 20-point scorers getting to the rim and doing things that they do very well. Darling a crossover as he gets across. It's 6-4 Delaware. Pass inside to Goss. His defender lost him, and Goss with the slam.
Well, the defender of Goss initially was out hedging, and that means there has to be help in the lane. McManus just rolled away from him. A great find by Nate Darling, playing at a wonderful pace, willing to share the ball.
Nate Darling, 23 assists over his last 4 games coming into this contest. Jasper inside. Kicks it out to Galloway, who's hesitant after the 0-2 start. Kick back out to Jasper, a corner three, and that triple is good for the first make from distance tonight for Charleston. It's now 8-7. Delaware on top by 1. Almost 4 minutes in, approaching the 16-minute media timeout. At 16:07. On top, it's Goss to Darling. Darling, quick trigger on a three, and it's off the mark into the hands of Jalen McManus for Charleston. Riller will walk the basketball up. Riller 0 of 1 from distance, 1 of 1 from inside the arc. He's got 2. Miller can knock down a 3 straight away, and off the mark into the hands of Justin Mutz. Solid defensive block out by Mutz. He's got 3 rebounds.
That was a pick and pop by Miller, meaning he set the screen and then faded to an open area. Riller found him. It was soft off the front of the rim. Delaware doing a nice job early on defending the defensive glass.
We're under 16 minutes first half. Delaware a 1-point lead, 8-7. They go into Goss, mid-left block. He looks to pass, does so to a cutting Allen. Allen waits for his defender to jump and land. Misses on the shot, though. as he went up for it from about 2 feet out. A rebound by Charleston in transition. Galloway pulls the trigger on a 3 to the 4th rebound for Justin Mutz.
Well, Galloway is getting his looks, and he will leak out at times, try to get set up at that three-point line. Delaware's got to be sure they transition quickly, which they did there. A high-hand contest. Galloway out of rhythm at the moment.
5 minutes in. It's Mutz, left block. McManus defends. Mutz wants a clear out. Gets it. Passes to Goss. Extra to Anderson. Anderson straight away. 10 seconds to work. To the right side. Picks up his dribble. Inside to Goss he goes. He turns off the window and off the mark. Just barely off the rim. Into the hands of black and gold. Here come the Cougars. It's Galloway. Foul line. Finds Miller. Miller drops it. Mutz gets back defensively. But Miller up and through. The lead back for Charleston.
The ability of Charleston to get deep into the lane has got to be negated by Delaware's defense. We've got to get back, make sure the lane is sealed off. That time a nice drop-off pass to Miller, who played at a good speed, not to get a shot blocked and to finish inside.
Delaware's missed some good looks at the rim tonight. Down by 1 as Allen swoops through defenders and scores off the window. A great take by Ryan Allen. I think we love that part of his game the best as a junior.
Anytime he can drive, he makes himself incredibly difficult to defend out at the three-point line. That time a great first step, going left to right across the lane and then finishing with his offhand.
Some razzle-dazzle for Ryan Allen, a 1,000-point scorer. Here's a 2,000-point scorer in Grant Riller. He misses inside the paint. Anderson sideline left, 13:55, first half. Splits 2 defenders into the paint. Drop for Goss. Goss up and through. What a dish by Kevin Anderson to find the big.
And it started by his ability to snake the hedge double screen, meaning he split it after he goes by the screen or gets down the lane. A beautiful drop-off pocket pass. Colin Goss playing really well around the rim. A great find by Kevin Anderson.
Goss has 6 points and 2 rebounds. Delaware with 12. A 3-point lead, 13:30. First half, still waiting that 16-minute media timeout whistle. Jasper right past Darling. Makes quick work of Darling defensively and gets in for 2.
Jasper's very fast with the ball. He did a good job there of penetrating, a little change of pace to get Nate off balance. And then again, Delaware's got to have a little bit more help in the lane instead of spacing so much with Charleston.
We get some help in the next break with Painter ready to check in. Darling is stripped, gets it back. A reach-in foul on Riller will send us to that media timeout. 13:05, first half of basketball. Your first at Ortho.com timeout score. Delaware 12, Charleston 11.
So getting this game away from how much they can score is really going to be important. Make someone else beside Riller beat us, and that means have a secondary or a third scorer for them, have to have the burden of the scoring on him, and then obviously find a way to contain Riller in the lane. He's got to see bodies, and he's got to be leveled off by whatever defender's playing him, and different bodies will play him tonight.
Painter and McCoy checking in at the break. They join Darling, Anderson, and Mutz as the starters on the floor. 5 for Mutz as he brings to the right side. Passes to Darling. He gets a clean look at a 3 and connects.
That was a horizontal split through the lane by Mutz. He found Nate Darling wide open right in front of the Charleston bench. Nate, when he can catch and shoot and rises up in rhythm, very difficult to defend and doesn't miss much in that action.
47 three-pointer of the year for Nate Darling, 5th most in all of college basketball. McManus right past Mutz. Delaware not doing much defensively early on.
McManus has a big body. He's wide down in the hip area. He was able to seal off Justin Mutz with a step under move there to score at the rim.
Both teams shooting 50%. Mutz adds to that total as he gets one in the lane. Another assist for Delaware. That's their 4th of the night on 8 makes.
Well, we're getting into the lane, and we're being able to make that little bounce pass. The selection of the pass so important. Kevin Anderson with another assist.
Riller right to the rim, and that's hard to do. Is blow by Kevin Anderson, but he was able to do so, and I think he was asking again for more help on the inside. I need somebody to make it difficult for Riller when he gets to the rim.
You're right. If you're going to force baseline, you've got to have a big body there to attack him.
Nate Darling driving, trying to do the same thing that Riller did a moment ago. He gets tied up. It's a jump ball arrow to Charleston, and we'll take another break. Your first at Ortho.com timeout score. The 11:39 to negate some easy looks from Charleston early on.
Both teams are doing a nice job of spacing the court, but when the ball is away from you, you've got to have at least a foot in the lane. College of Charleston has scored 12 of their 15 in the paint, and Delaware scored 14 of 17 in the paint. So obviously the ball is getting in. A little change up here by Delaware. I like this to try to break the rhythm of Charleston with a three-quarter court press.
Now into a zone with McCoy and Darling on top. Mutz Anderson and Painter on the back end, and McCoy got his hands on a pass. Darling passed it right back to Mutz after the steal, and a turnover, and a turnover again. Mutz reaches in and fouls Jalen McManus. So a couple of turnovers within a matter of dribbles between the two teams. It was Darling with a steal. McCoy deflected the pass to get it to Darling, but the steal right back. And at the free throw line goes Jalen McManus.
Sometimes you just try to play a little too fast in transition. Be comfortable with the fact you just made a steal and you've got the ball and we're ahead. And at times I might think, I know why Justin Mutz fouled him. He wasn't going to allow him to get the layup or the dunk. But I think Justin Mutz staying in the game for longer periods of time and not getting in foul trouble might be worth more than 2 points early on in the game.
Well, this officiating crew keeps their whistles quiet like they have, then that's just the first foul on Delaware.
It won't matter.
Nobody's going to get told. Evan Burrows, Greg Evans, Ed Corbett today are the officials here in Newark. McManus makes the first and the second. 77% free throw shooter. Started a few games last year, but started all the games this season. The 6'7" senior turns 22 years old tomorrow. 17 all, 11-19, and now some full court pressure by Charleston. Mutz breaks the timer, and we'll wait for his point guard, Kevin Anderson. Anderson already with 2 assists in this one. 4 on the season per game for the junior from PA. It's Mutz, left block, back out to Anderson. He's shooting the ball well this season from 3, short that time, and Smart boxed out Painter for the defensive rebound. Down the floor on the Euro step, and a foul as McClooney got inside. Some of the reserves playing right now for Charleston. This is the time of game where Delaware should try to get a lead, build a lead with Riller out, and they've been unable to do so. In fact, they're minus since Riller has gone to the bench.
Well, that was a nice play by Delaware. What they did was double down on Justin Mutz on the catch from Kevin Anderson. Justin read it perfectly, kicks it back out to Kevin, who has been shooting extremely well, over 42% from the 3 for the season. Just missed it off the front rim, but then the ability of Charleston to push the pace so quickly forced the foul.
Foul was on Anderson, second on Delaware. And McClooney makes 1 of 2. This is 4th and 5th free throws of the season to give Charleston their second lead of the night. Ryan Howell will bring the ball up the floor as Anderson gets a blow. It's Allen, Mutz, Painter, Darling, and McCoy on the floor. Darling close past his man, hop step in the lane to the right-hand float. He misses. Painter on the offensive rebound after the air ball. He's being attacked inside, working hard, and goes to the free throw line, where he is a 7 of 10 shooter on the season.
Well, Delaware's applying a little bit of pressure, and now so is Charleston in response, just trying to either speed us up or take us out of our rhythm. But that time, Nate Darling did a great job of driving in, tried the teardrop, just missed it. But Painter is so strong inside, takes up so much space. He was able to secure the rebound, pivot around a couple times, and then get fouled. I really like his patience down low when he secures an offensive rebound.
If Painter went right back up with it, we would have given Darling an assist on that play, on the lob. You described it properly, though. Painter grabbing the offensive rebound after the air ball, and he is just so tough inside, as you described. Makes his second. Riller will come back in. It'll be McManus going to, Richard will go to the bench. So they've got a team of Epps, the youngster, on the floor, along with Jasper, Riller, Smart, and Galloway. Smart, their biggest player at 6'8", 240, the junior. Delaware with 3 reserves in the game as Novakovic checks in for Justin Mutz. Galloway eyed up a long 3, didn't take it. Jasper and he have a catch with it. To the baseline, a 15-foot jump shot is strong, but stronger is Smart on the offensive board, and he puts Charleston back on top by 2. It's 20-18.
Well, Delaware got them to take a bad shot in the 2-3 zone, but unfortunately Nate Darling was forced to rotate down on the backside. Couldn't get a body on the young big man who was able to finish.
Here's Allen changing directions. To Painter it goes, left side. He's going to back down Smart. Smart is a big body, as is Painter. Painter spins baseline. Painter with a head fake. Kick out Novakovic. Novakovic made a 3 on Saturday and gets one on Monday night.
Pace of play by Dylan Painter. Drives in, draws the help from the weak side. They tried to clamp him, and then a great kick through to Alex Novakovic on the far right wing.
Novakovic now has made a 3-pointer in 3 of the last 4 games after slumping a bit. Epps turns and fires. He's missed on the last 2 possessions. Painter reaches for the rebound. And here comes Nate Darling and the Blue Hens. Up by 1, 21-20, 9:22. First half, Darling a pull-up tray, misses. No one there to rebound for Delaware. Riller, eyes ahead. He pushes, corner. Galloway driving, gets Painter in the air. He goes straight up and makes Galloway miss without fouling. Great job by the Villanova transfer. Here's Novakovic. Darling, NBA range 3. And Epps might have got a piece of that. Smart with the defensive rebound. A reach in by Dylan Painter will be his first foul. And just the third on Delaware.
Well, some people might question the shot selection at times of Nate Darling. I never do. I think he's a rhythm shooter. They sunk under the screen the time before he took the shot. It was a great look. Here in transition, he was feeling it, got his hips square, was in good position. And he also had Dylan Painter underneath to try to get the rebound. It just didn't work out that way. So these, in my opinion, are not bad shots. I want a player like Nate Darling searching for his action.
Delaware after shooting 52% on Saturday from 3, just 29%, 2 of 7. Riller splits an entire team of white jerseys, gets the rim and scores. He is incredible.
And that's why he has a chance to play in the NBA, being able to score on a much bigger man who's a solid defender inside. Riller used his body well to protect it from Dylan Painter.
Painter might have got away with a travel and bailed out by Sam Miller. Will be called for the foul. Painter was going nowhere fast on that drive, and Miller just didn't have his hands straight up, so it benefits Delaware, and Painter will go to the free throw line for the second time today.
Dylan Painter looked like his brother going for extra yardage after a catch there, driving in, but he is so solid, and it didn't look like it may have looked like a walk to some, but the fact he was balanced as he went in, he wasn't out of control, and he draws a lot of contact with that inside part of his body, which allows him to hold the ball away and get a chance to get the three-point play. In this case, he couldn't, but it gives him the opportunity.
Bill referencing his brother, who's a tight end for our rival James Madison, who is playing for a national championship in January against North Dakota State. 23-22, this back and forth game. Now favoring the home team by a point, 8:23. First half of basketball. Triller to the right side, gets past Anderson. Waiting for him is McCoy. There was contact, no foul call, but did enough to rearrange the shot of Riller and a miss inside the paint. Anderson with the basketball now. Screen from Painter, brings to the center of the floor. Picks up the dribble. Inside to Painter, mouse in the house. Riller just grabs Dylan Painter as the 6'10", 225 big was up against the 6'3", Grant Riller.
Well, we're talking about NBA-type plays. That was an NBA-type play by Delaware. Kevin Anderson understanding that on the switch here, Riller was beat to have any opportunity to score, and in fact it is.
It was a flagrant one. I got to call our friend Kevin Tritt helping us out, and it was a flagrant one. So because he bear hugged Dylan Painter, it was a flagrant one. So free throws and the basketball. And Grant Riller, maybe most importantly of all, picks up foul number 2. Painter at the free throw line. And our bigs, our entire team shoots 75% as a whole. A good free throw shooting team, but Justin Mutz, as we've talked about, 80% on the season and coming in at 70%. Dylan Painter, a very good free throw shooter as well. 4 of 5 after that one, and now 5 of 6. Halfway to double figures once again.
Well, Dylan can do it because he's so tough around the rim. He's able to get good position. He has excellent hands. I think that's very underrated on Dylan to secure a lot of these in-close passes, especially when you're getting bumped.
A 3-point lead for Delaware and the basketball. Thanks to their hug by Grant Riller. Back to the paint. It goes to Painter. Right block. Spinning baseline. Working on Sam Miller and scoring. He's got 7 to lead Delaware in just 5 minutes of action.
Miller allowed Dylan Painter to drop step to his left shoulder to get his shoulders perfectly parallel with the backboard. That way he can go up with the highest release. Miller not able to offer any resistance at the rim.
A 6-0 run by Delaware. 4 of them on that possession by Dylan Painter alone. It's 27-22. Largest lead for the Hens. A reach in by Allen. Trips up Jasper. Jasper gets it back. A pass to Richard. Baseline. Painter is defending, and Richard stepped out of bounds. A turnover will bring us to a timeout. Delaware on a run with momentum heading in to the 8-minute media timeout. 7:23 left. All-Star in Education. Go to WDSD.com and click on contest. Brought to you by the Delaware State Education Association. The SEA standing strong for student success.
Scott, you talked about Dylan Painter. I think he and Colin Goss really complement one another. They've both been playing at high levels. They're getting good minutes. And when one guy goes out, the other one comes in, and there's a lot of energy from that player that comes back in the game. So a lot of pressure on the opponent's big man, in this case, Sam Miller.
Allen with the basketball. Allen McCoy, left side. Galloway bothering him. Bounce pass to Anderson as he's Stands wing left, brings it inside, looks for contact, doesn't get any, but somehow enough to get it go up and in.
That's the second rejection of the ball screen by Kevin Anderson to get in deep. There's got to be quicker rotation and the help from College of Charleston, but that was an acrobatic play at the basket to find a way with his right hand to get it up to the rim.
Everybody who has entered the game has scored beyond McCoy, and he's not too worried about that, as we've talked about. Miller can put the ball on the deck and does so. Drives, kicks out to McManus. He can do the same. Power forward gets the foul drawn as he dribbles left to right. And inside the paint, McManus will go to the free throw line for the second time today, where he's 2 of 2.
McManus, big body, long-armed, physical type player, invites and really wants contact. Ivakovic just got caught leaning in a little bit. I think on that you've just got to try to go straight up as best you can and not foul and make him take that tough shot and see if he can make it.
First foul on Ivakovic, 4th on the Blue Hens. McManus scored double figures in 8 games this season, misses the free throw. 9 points per game is 3rd best on this team. You've got Riller all the way up at 21 points per game, and then 10 points per game for Brevin Galloway, almost 11. McManus closing in on a double-figure average for Earl Grant's team in his 6th season. What a coach he is. One of the young guys in this league that is really going to grow this program in South Carolina. And in Martin Inglesby, we've got one ourselves as well. Two really good young talent coaches.
Like Martin, Earl Grant's a really good person, and he works well with his staff and his teammates and the program and the athletic department. When you get a chance to talk to Earl Grant, you'll be very impressed with him. He's just a really good basketball mind and well-liked throughout the conference and throughout the country.
A little CAA connection. He coached under Brad Brownell, who was coach at UNCW, did some winning there down in Wilmington before going to Clemson. Allen with the basketball, his team up by 6, 29-23. Darling extra pass, Anderson corner right side. Thought about the 3, didn't take it. Left-handed dribbles, guarded by Jasper closely. Brings it back out, Allen straight away. Guarded by Riller, a jab step for him. Comes to the right side after a screen by Penner. Pulls up, deep 2, Allen, nothing. For the bottom of the net.
Well, Ryan Allen using a little change of pace himself, and the hesitation before he went up. It really wasn't a shot fake. It was kind of a head and shoulders fake. The ball stayed low. Riller worked by him. I really like it when Ryan plays in that mid-range and at the basket. He just is so clever in that.
He shoots 54% from 2 on this season. His willingness to shoot the mid-range jumper has really expanded his game this season. 8 on the shot clock for Miller. Guarded closely by Mutz inside of McManus. Nobody inside to defend the rim, but it was one of the guards that's not going to make it difficult for McManus to miss from 3 feet out. A rebound by Delaware with the basketball. Corner, Mutz lobbing inside of Painter, but he telegraphed it. And a steal by Brevin Galloway, 30th of the season, leads the team. The kick out to Jasper on the other end of 3. It's strong. Rebound Justin Mutz, his 5th of the game, and Delaware can settle finally.
Well, that lob pass was the right idea. He just needed to fake first to keep the defense low. And at the other end, Charleston still struggling from the 3.
And now another steal by Galloway. He ripped it away on a lazy pass near half court. Pick 6 for Galloway. He gets an easy layup on the other end. Back-to-back steals for Galloway, one of the top steals men in the conference. 31 now on the season. It's 31-25. Delaware on top by 6. 4:51. First half of basketball. Allen a jab step. Pulls up for 3 this time. It's long. Back iron. Painter keeps it alive with a tip. It's batted around in the hands of Sam Miller. He pushes ahead. Riller on the run right side. Will wait for his teammates in front of Martin Inglesby and the Delaware bench. Puts it on the floor. Behind the back pass to Miller. Straight away 3. He can't connect. Long rebound. It's on the floor. Foul on Painter. Bouncing off of Brevin Galloway.
Boy, that was a tough call because I thought both players had an equal opportunity to secure that ball that was rolling on the ground. I thought that was a tough call against Dillon. Should have just been a no call.
I think they called it on the 225 guy that made the other player bounce off at 215 Galloway. When that was, and they both got to be careful. I'm glad both are okay as we look at it again. They both had kind of head-to-head contact there. Riller off the inbound. Baseline right, 15 feet away, Anderson guards. Head fake by Riller, up and under. Goss comes over and rejects it. Colin Goss just entered the game and gets the block, his 7th of the season. Can Delaware answer? Up 31-25. Allen driving, Riller cuts off, and Allen stepped on the bait. No, he called for a personal foul. He must have extended the arm on the dribble drive, and for Allen, that's his first. The team's 5th.
I want to go back to that defensive play at the other end. Colin Goss rotated from the weak side. That's the perfect place you want to come from to block a shot because the shooter can't see you. He was confronted. He tried to step under, and a really nice play by Goss coming from the weak side to get the long arm block.
Delaware's now turned the basketball over 3 times in the last 2 minutes of action. Up 31-25, under 4 minutes we go. Near the center circle, it's Jasper dribbling his right-hand screen from Smart to the left side. Sends Goss away from the basket. Riller to Jasper. Jasper, quick trigger on a 3, and he drills it. Delaware's lead is cut in half.
The key to that play was Grant Riller with a terrific quick pass to reverse the ball to Jasper, who was wide open. Nate Darling could not get there in time to close him out.
Just his second 3 made on 9 tries for Charleston, but he makes it a 3-point lead for Delaware. Hens have not scored in over 2.5 minutes. Allen can't change that with a corner 3 miss. Chance to tie the score for Charleston as Riller gets across half court. Brings it right to left where he's picked up by Anderson. Anderson defends. Now Galloway a 3. It's in and out, a rebound by Justin Mutz defensively.
Galloway continues to struggle now. 0 for 4 from the 3. He's had good looks. He's got to probably be guarded a little bit closer. That little split kick by Riller drew the help.
Darling spins into traffic, switches hands, gets the roll, +1.
What an unbelievably good footwork move on the left side by Nate Darling as he drives down, spins to the weak.
You're looking to be a part of a community that is health conscious, family friendly, and fitness focused. Look no further than the Hockessin Athletic Club. New year, new you. You hear it all the time, and you can do it at the Hockessin Athletic Club. It's more than just a fitness center. Join in December. That means today or tomorrow, and you'll pay nothing until January 10th. For more information on your new home away from home, visit hachealthclub.com. Nate Darling at the free throw line, 79% free throw shooter, 3rd best percentage on the team, and they'll raise that after the free throw is made good. Delaware back up to 6. They've led by as many as 8. And now Charleston looking to answer. Jeb Jasper with the point position. Come up the floor. Gets to the 2-guard Grant Riller. Riller with 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting. Inside to Smart. Smart turns in, is able to easily lay it up. All he had to do was jump over Ryan Alley. He had the height advantage there. Good look inside.
Smart, a big body man, gets good position inside because of that size, and a nice find there by Riller to the big man Smart.
The lead is 4, and Delaware turns it over again away from the ball. Justin Mutz called for a foul. He was trying to set a screen away from the ball for Nate Darling. The idea was correct, but the execution was not, and that's the second foul on Justin Mutz, first to 2. He and Dylan Payne are both with 2 fouls for Delaware.
Officials are trying to clean up some of that off-the-ball screening action when it's illegal. That time they just caught Justin moving a little too much on that flare screen.
Riller, at the blink of an eye, he gets the rim. Help defense, and off the leg of Grant Riller, they'll call a turnover on number 1. So back to Delaware it goes. But that first step is really as quick as it gets.
It was a flash. I almost missed it, and I was staring at him. It's so aggressive. He keeps his hips low. He can blow by. And that was just a nice kind of reach in there by Kevin Anderson, I believe.
It was by Kevin Anderson. He got his, we were kind of blocked to the ball side of Grant Riller, but it was Kevin Anderson we saw on the replay. He got his hand in and knocked it through off the leg of Grant Riller. Here's Allen to the rim. Kick out. Darling. Catch. Release. Misfiring on a corner 3. Darling is now 1 of 5 from downtown. Leads Delaware with 8, but can't add to his total. It's 34-30 as we go under 2 minutes. Richard, cornered by Anderson as he drives. Hops, skipping the lane, and back out to Jasper. 16 to shoot as the sophomore point guard from Augusta, Georgia, settles towards half court. Allen defends. Smart and McManus line up for a double screen. Jasper to Galloway. 6 to shoot. He gets in the lane left to right, and he misfires, but Smart is there for the putback. And again, points in the paint, causing trouble for Delaware. That's the 22nd of 34 points for Charleston that come inside. Allen with the basketball now. Right wing. Slips inside to Goss. Goss has 8, another assist for Allen, who had 6 on Saturday, and the Hens back up 4.
Well, a great find there by Ryan Allen as he was able to get deep, and then Goss doing a nice job. He's very mobile and moves well without the ball to get himself in a receiving position.
Richard on the drive, and a foul going to be called on Novakovic. Touch foul there as Novakovic was sliding his feet. We'll have to see a replay here, but Delaware 8 fouls, so free throw, at least 1 coming up for Brevin Galloway, who's 9 of 12 on the season.
I think they're just going to catch Novakovic with a little bit of that hip, but I thought more of the contact was initiated by Richard.
I think you're right, and I call him Galloway. It's Richard at the free throw line. Very good 75% free throw shooter. Doesn't play a whole lot. Just 13 minutes per game. 1-1 there. Makes the first 3 points per game for the sophomore from Durham, North Carolina. And as well as Delaware has played offensively, shooting 52%, you feel like they should have a bigger lead than they do right now. A second free throw coming up to get Charleston within 2 with 1:09 left. And it will.
Well, we've had the ball in the paint so much and had some really good opportunities. It just feels that way. And when you let a team like Charleston, when you think you should be expanding the lead, hang around, that can be a tough proposition. So Delaware's got to dig down and play a little bit better at the defensive end.
Delaware going to call it
for 3, and Delaware is almost to 40%, and that's really an important factor. They've had good looks. The shots just haven't been falling. And I think at some point you've almost got to hope that you not regress to the mean, but advance to the mean here, which I think if we continue to get these good looks, we should probably keep shooting them. Though we've also done a nice job of driving the ball into the paint as well and sharing it inside.
Mentioned Charleston's points in the paint at 22, but Delaware also matching that number. 1:01 remaining in the first half. Delaware with a 2-point advantage, 36-34. They've led by as many as 8. Backdoor to Darling. Contact. He got the shot up. And what an executed pass by Colin Goss to find Nate Darling. Usually it's the other way around. That time the big guy showing that he can get an assist. Darling will get 2 shots.
That was Princeton-esque. Colin Goss looks like he's going to run the exchange. Dribbles at Nate Darling, who immediately backdoors along the baseline. And then Colin Goss with a really skillful one-handed pass off the dribble.
Darling in the free throw good. Speaking of Colin Goss, I feel like he's a guy that could go to Princeton. We're glad that he's here, but he's a smart guy. Well, elder statesman of the group, 23 years old, redshirt senior from Manassas, Virginia. And Darling with the free throw, his second make from the line, and there's his third. He hasn't touched the rim on any of his attempts. It's 38-34, and just under a minute left in the first half. Charleston with the basketball, some light pressure as Richard gets it across. Bounces to Jasper. Jasper, double figures in 2 of his last 3 games. He's got 8 to lead Charleston in this one on 3 of 4 shooting. Brings it to the left side.
A little interested there. Charleston did play 2 for 1.
10 seconds, and they're going to get none. A turnover after a steal by Anderson. Anderson, his 19th steal of the season, leads the team in that category. Just a 1-second difference with the shot and the game clock. And a reaching foul by Galloway is the team's 7th. So 1-1 to Kevin Anderson.
Well, I think they may have had some confusion there. I'm thinking that they thought they had a foul to give, because that's a foul you don't want to commit in that situation.
Galloway, you're right. As we looked at it at the replay, it seemed like Anderson was confused dribbling the basketball, and Galloway almost intentionally reached around the body of Kevin Anderson. Anderson just 65% though, big front end, and he makes it. Delaware shooting the free throws well, 9 of 10 in this contest. Now up 39-34. There's going to be 23.9 to get a shot off for Charleston. Riller will check in. He's been sitting a bit with the 2 fouls. The second was the intentional against Dylan Painter. Both free throws good for Anderson. And a 40-34 lead for Delaware here at home, heading in to halftime. Sam Miller going to check in as well. So Miller, Galloway, Jasper, Riller, and McManus. Their 5 best offensive weapons on the floor, and Riller going to walk it up. They'll pass over to Jasper. 18.7 left. Delaware will have a lead in the locker room, but by how much? It's 40-34. Jasper stands center circle, talking to Riller. Riller comes to get it. 8 seconds. Delaware does not have a foul to give. Jasper, left side, 4 seconds. Jasper to the right side, crossover, 2 seconds. Long 3, Jasper, and a misfire. Not a well-executed final play of the half. A lot of
get in rhythm where he can begin to light it up. He's been shooting the 3 very well, especially recently.
1,000-point scorer Ryan Allen on the floor for Delaware, along with Colin Goss, Nate Darling, Kevin Anderson, and Justin Mutz. The starting 5 on the floor for the Hens. And for Colin Charleston, Galloway, Jasper, Riller, McManus, Miller, their starting 5 as well. Delaware gets the basketball first. We're underway as they go right to left as we see it to the Dashing Convenience Stores broadcast table. A 6-point lead for Delaware. They've led by as many as 8. A pass to Darling, inside to Goss. Goss pushed off his mark, inside, spins, and traveled with the basketball as he went to the right-hand hook along the baseline.
Well, I thought he actually established his pivot foot and did not travel. A tough call there as he was maneuvering along the baseline and would have scored. Colin is really clever with his footwork down there. That was a tough call against him.
It is the 6th turnover against the Blue Hens. Jasper with the basketball now, trying to cut in on this Delaware lead. Their first possession of the second half. Watch for Grant Riller. He averages 21. He only has 6 in this first half. Miller turns and faces, fires away from 16, shot at 14, into the hands of Colin Gauss.
Well, if that's the best shot Charleston's going to get after coming out of the halftime with a set play, Delaware's going to be in good shape. Colin Gauss, a long hand contest on Miller in the mid-range, no angle. Good defense by Delaware.
Mutz driving across the lane, shot it into the hands of Sam Miller off the rim, and now Riller. 3-on-3, corner, Galloway, head fake sends Mutz flying, Galloway misfires again, McManus tips to Gauss, and Brevin Galloway, the team's best three-point shooter, is 0 of 5 to start this contest. Darling, Delaware's best three-point shooter, takes it in close and scores 2 more. He's got 12.
Does a great job, does Nate Darling, of shielding off the shot blocker, in that case Sam Miller, about 4 inches taller than he, to wheel the ball off of the backboard. He always picks kind of the right spin and the right angle. Very clever around the basket.
McManus turns and faces from the same stop Miller did moments ago. Mutz, he was ready for it, takes the charge.
Well, that's a great scouting report by Corey McCray, knowing that that's one of McManus's favorite moves, where he'll back you down, try to create some space, and then re-bump you. That time, Justin Mutz in great position, just held his ground. McManus lowered that left shoulder. A really good job there. Scouting report, absorbing the scouting report, and then execution in the game.
He had to do it perfectly, too, because that's a risk with 2 fouls. If he doesn't execute that proper way, he's got 3 and he's on the bench. Darling to the rim again, to Allen, squares, releases, high arc 3. It's short. He follows his shot. We'll try again. Allen misses 2 in a row. He got 2 of the cleanest looks. He'll have the rest of the night, but could get him to go. Riller on the other end, and that's a 5-point swing. 2 easy ones from Allen, can't connect, and Riller takes it down the floor and gets 2 for the Cougars.
Riller is so dangerous in the open court because of his speed, his ball handling, and then the creativity around the basket. That time he softened it up with a 2-foot jump and just kind of dropped it off with his left hand.
42-36, Anderson. Jasper can't stay in front as Anderson turns the corner, gets it up and through, body contact. We'll get another from the free throw line, a chance at 3-point play.
Always stunned when teams allow Kevin Anderson to turn the corner with his right hand, get down the lane, and score, because he's so long-armed. Anyone his height or a little shorter has no chance to affect the shot.
Anderson can't finish the 3-point play. A 44-36 lead, matching their largest of the night. Delaware 11-3 on the season. Charleston 7-6, both 1-0 in conference play. Here's Riller, mid-left block. Anderson defends, and Riller. Now he's got a chance for 3 as he's beginning his attack in the second half. Quickly into double figures goes Grant Riller. A chance to get to his 11th from the free throw line. A
space post-up, meaning spaces away from the basket against Kevin Anderson. A quick spin move to the baseline, and then a jump stop and a shot fake to go through contact. A really nice play.
Anderson picks up his second personal. Free throw missed by Riller, so similarities on both ends. Anderson and 1 in the free throw miss, same for Riller. Here's Allen over to Darling. Darling near the Delaware bench, a wide crossover. He lost it to Anderson near half court. Still plenty on the clock. 14 to work. Wizards brings to the left side, and a pass is stolen away by McManus. McManus trying to take it coast to coast. Slotted by Justin Mutz.
I'm also amazed that players don't use a shot fake around the basket when you know there's a shot blocker lurking from the weak side. Justin Mutz waited, timed that out perfectly, rotates down from the opposite side as McManus went right up, rejects the shot.
Mutz, 16 blocks on the season, leads the team in that category, and Delaware has a 44-38 advantage. Now Riller guarded by Mutz, and Mutz can guard that shooting guard position. McManus on Anderson after the switch. He's bigger than Kevin Anderson, and he takes advantage into the paint, scoring 2 over the point guard at 6'5".
McManus just pulled his way in there, even kind of squared up and shot a right-hand teardrop shot over Kevin Anderson's outstretched arm. A nice play by the junior.
Allen bounce to Goss. Goss, left block, looking to pass out. Flips to Mutz. Mutz inside, back iron, off the mark. Rebound Goss. Goss floats. It's short, and the ball tipped around. Goss has it again. Darling calling for it. Release on the 3. That's short. And a run out for Jasper. Galloway ahead of the pack. It's 3-on-2. Galloway, hesitation to the rim. Miss, tap, and over the back went Grant Riller. That's big, because that's foul number 3 on the star from Charleston.
And that's not exactly how I thought they might get it. I thought they might attack Riller and try to get him to commit a foul, but here he just makes the mistake, and for a veteran player, a bad one when you have 2 fouls. Just comes over the back on the offensive rebound to try to get the tip in of Ryan Allen, who had good position.
Delaware I'm concerned. I don't know if they are, the way they're shooting in this second half. 0 of 3, so the slumping has continued from three-point range. They're 2 of 13 tonight from 3, and just 2 of 8 to start in this second half. Here's Darling, spinning off McManus and in. Darling felt the lean of the big guy and spun the opposite direction. He's got 14.
Nate is such a clever ball handler. He can get into places that others can't. Then he uses that spin move and then an underhand scoop shot. He's just got a lot of different ways to score around the basket. Very, very creative player.
Back up to 6. Riller playing with 3 fouls on the right wing. Much defense. Going to back down a little. Riller looking for contact. Got some. No whistle, but did get the basket to roll. Using the right hand off the lean from Justin Mutz. 46-42 is Delaware's advantage. 15-19 remaining in the ball game. Immediate timeout coming up at the next whistle. Anderson thought about a 3. Couple jab steps. Now he drives in a traveling violation. For the 3rd turnover of the game for Kevin Anderson. Will bring us to a timeout. Hens holding on to a 4-point lead. Your first at Ortho.
Minutes 4 for 6 from the field. Boy, is he playing at a high level.
Goss has had double figures points 6 times, double figures rebounds 3 times. Never in the same game. He's 2 points and 2 rebounds away from his first double-double. Have to wait to get it, as Dylan Painter, as you mentioned, checked into the game. He was instant offense when he came in last time, just bullying some of these smaller Charleston players. But a good counter by Earl Grant as O.C. Smart also checks in. It's Charleston basketball. Riller is on the bench 5 minutes into the second half. Jasper to Richard as Delaware defends with 7 on the shot clock. Wing right to Clooney. To McManus. He'll pull the trigger on a high arcing 3. Good defense for 28 seconds by the Hens. A defensive rebound.
It sure was a 2-2-1 3-quarter court. Back to a 2-3 zone. They really worked hard on it the other day before the UNCW game in practice. They played it well there. They got McManus to shoot a long range 3. They're exactly the kind of shot they want College of Charleston to take.
And the 4th foul on Charleston on a reach in to Nate Darling. Not a whole lot of action going on, but the foul was called against McClooney. That's his first. Painter replacing Goss, other 4 starters in the game. Anderson with the basketball as the shot clock resets to 20 after the foul. Allen is fouled on the reach-in. Richard was there. That's now 5 on Charleston. So a lot of basketball left, and now Delaware 2 fouls drawn away from getting a 1-on-1. They've shot 10 of 12 today in the game.
Well, this really works to Delaware's advantage, especially considering they're 10 for 12 from the free throw line. Get there early and be able to get a lot of scores without the clock moving. A great aspect, a positive aspect for Delaware.
Allen lost the ball, got it back. Anderson to Painter. Painter with 10 at the top of the key. Mutz on the right block, 8 to work. Smart defending. Mutz strong off the window over the back with Dylan Painter. An easy call for the official, and that's 3 on the redshirt junior.
Well, Dylan just a little overly aggressive there, trying to tip the ball in. He was boxed out. At that point, when you don't have great position, just give it up and get back.
Mutz 2 of 7 now. Shooting in this basketball game. He had shot 71% from the field over the last 4 games, but struggling a bit today. Here's McManus just inside the free throw line. Found a seam in that Delaware defense, and is now a 1-possession lead for Delaware. It was 8 points just 4 minutes ago, and here come the Cougars without Grant Riller. Anderson to the left side. Mutz straight away. He drives. Back to the basket as he gets it to Allen. Allen on the wing right side, picked up by McManus. Hesitation dribble. Into the lane. Into the defenders. Lost it and out of bounds. A turnover by Delaware. Their 10th now of the basketball game. 5 already in the second half. And Charleston a chance to take their first lead since 9 minutes left in the first half.
That's 3 turnovers in the last couple minutes for Delaware. We just got to play a little bit better with the ball. Let's reverse the ball a little bit more before we drive it. And maybe look for a dump in to Dylan Painter down on the low block and see if we can attack Smart that way.
4 turnovers in the last 4 minutes to be exact, Bill. And now with 3 ball on the way. Long over the head of Painter and an offensive rebound. Richard loses it out of bounds. A break for Delaware as they get it back. And we talked about Grant Riller being on the bench a bit with foul trouble in this game. College Charleston hasn't lost much when he's been on the bench. These reserves are playing well defensively and scoring enough offensively to hang in the game.
This more looks like the College of Charleston team defensively that I was expecting to see. Leveling off drivers, creating some turnovers. So Delaware's got to counter with more reversals of the ball, get the ball inside of the post.
They do so right now to Painter, working hard over Smart, up and in. Coach Bill with the call.
Well, don't know about that, but just expecting the big body of Dylan Painter to take advantage was a great entry pass. As after a quick reversal of the ball, and that's so important, get the defense moving, because at times College of Charleston overhelps. They were caught heavy on the other side, nobody there to work in addition to Smart down low.
It's Richard on the wing. Delaware back up to 4, looking for a stop. 13 to work. Jasper guarded by Anderson, one of the top defenders in the league. Smart at the free throw line. Mutz was waiting for him. Another offensive foul drawn by Justin Mutz, the second time in the second half.
Perfectly positioned, understanding that Smart was going to have to drive down the lane. Smart, not a particularly good ball handler either. He should have just pulled up there in front of Justin Mutz and shot over him. So that's what you want. You want the big man of the opposition handling the ball in space.
And anyone that comes to these games, and I hope more start to do so, has got to have Justin Mutz as a fan favorite. Big smile on his face. I love guys that enjoy the game. And we talked about the other night how much you can tell Justin Mutz enjoys doing what he's doing, whether it's a dunk or drawing an offensive charge. Dylan Painter, cross court to the man we're talking about, Justin Mutz. Spins in the paint, draws 2 defenders, and gets a foul from one of them. He'll go to the free throw line where he shoots 80% on the year.
A good post player has also got to be a good passer. Dylan Painter got that ball forced out a little bit on a space post. He didn't like his action, so he reverses the ball quickly to Justin Mutz, who gets to attack. He draws the foul with some nice footwork in the lane by driving it. So anytime you can get the defense to move across the court to defend a post player and then skip it weak, you're going to have some driving angles.
That foul was on the freshman Epps, his first. Just 11 minutes per game for Epps. Everybody doing their part to fill in, with Riller sitting with 3 fouls. You got to think he's going to be coming back in soon. So you want to build up this lead. Mutz misses both. A rarity for Justin Mutz, as he had made 28 of his last 30 free throws outside of that Villanova performance, but misses a pair there. So Delaware cannot grow their lead. It's a 4-point advantage, 48-44, just under 12 minutes. Next whistle will bring us to a timeout. Jasper corner to Richard. He stepped on the end line. No, he traveled with the ball. Either way, a turnover. Your first at ortho.com timeout score as we head to break with 11:47 remaining in the second half. Delaware 48.
For a player like Riller, that's a lot of time to be out of the game. And for College of Charleston not to lose any ground there, that's a big win for the Charleston bench. And a good job by Earl Grant managing his bench and the minutes for Riller to keep him now on the floor, hopefully for them, the last 11 minutes and change.
Galloway strips Darling, ball loose. He gets his 3rd steal of the game. An instant impact off the bench for Galloway. A turnover for the Hens. That's their 11th. Riller, Euro, splits 2, drops to O.C. Smart. His shot rejected. His shot rejected again. Not in our house, say the Blue Hens. It goes back to Galloway. He misses on a 3. A long rebound in the hands of Charleston. Reddish saved it, thrown out of bounds. O.C. Smart's looking for help. 15 to shoot. Painter needs to not reach in. He's got 3. Gets it back to Reddish. 11 to work. Now Riller straight away. It's the 3rd and 4th try coming up for Charleston on this possession. 5 seconds for Riller. Riller inside, draws contact and the foul. The worst case scenario for Delaware after they stop Charleston on 3 shots in the paint. It ends with Riller 20 seconds later getting the bucket.
No fakes inside by College of Charleston. That allows the rejections to occur. And then a long miss by Galloway. And the shots are being missed so far outside the cylinder that Delaware can't run down those 50-50 balls. And when that happens, obviously the offensive team has an advantage there. And then Riller with a wonderful quick step on the left side to get to the basket.
Just like that, it's a 1-point lead for Delaware. Novakovic will throw into McCoy. So Delaware losing some firepower as now Inglesby is going to try to steal some time with Nate Darling, a rare visit to the bench as he and Mutz sit next to Torian Jones. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Delaware offensively.
Charleston does a good job at times of denying the ball on the side, and I can feel they've amped up their defense a little bit here in the second half. Much more aggressive on the ball, creating some turnovers.
Delaware shooting just 36% in this second frame. Inside of Painter. Painter, mid-right block. Backing down Smart. Corner, Novakovic. He's open. Delaware needs it. And he sailed it long into the hands of O.C. Smart. A chance for Charleston to take their first lead since 8:42 in the first half. Riller splits 2. And he misfires. Epps, an offensive board. Ball's loose. Painter stole it away from Riller in midair. Now Delaware pushing. Down the floor comes Allen. Allen hesitation. Into the paint. Pass 2. That's offensive goaltending.
A great call by you and a spirited play by Dylan Painter at the defensive end to contest the shot and then create the activity around the basket. It leads Ryan Allen to a quick run out and a great drive by Allen, understanding the defense was retreating.
O.C. Smart grabbed the rim as Allen's shot went up. Delaware needed it. They got one. A defensive stop and an answer by Ryan Allen, who now has 6. 50-47 the score. We're halfway down the second half. Riller feels the moment, drives, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Charleston 15 to shoot.
So many times when Grant Riller attacks the basket, he's attacking obviously to score, but he actually is trying to draw fouls. And by doing that, so he's trying to get the other team deep into foul trouble and also get himself to the free throw line.
Galloway, a 3-ball. We're tied at 50. His first make on 6 tries. And with exactly halfway left to go in this ball game in the second half, we've got a tie score at 50. Painter turns, loses it. The 4th steal by Brevin Galloway. Hesitation in transition from his hip. He misses. Put back Reddish, and the lead for Charleston for the first time since 9 minutes left in the first half. I think Delaware needs to sit.
I agree with you. Just a little break up here in the momentum. This amped up defense by Charleston right now is the difference in the game, creating turnovers and also making it difficult for Delaware to get into their offensive flow.
52
defense. He's got 4 steals on the game. That's 33 for the season. He's second in the CAA to Bowie of Hofstra, averaging 2.2, so he's almost double his average for the season. He's long-arm, he's quick, but he really understands what Delaware's trying to do, and he puts himself in a position to make a play.
See what Delaware come up with out of the timeout. They lob inside to Mutz. Starters on the floor for the Hens. Anderson has the basketball, guarded by Reddish. Deep right side to Allen, guarded by Riller. Inside to Mutz. Mutz has a smaller defender, Epps on him. Anderson, a 3 from Mutz, and he drills it.
Inside out, Kevin Anderson from a spot he warmed up hard again tonight with Coach Torian Jones. Makes it from that left elbow extended, a beautiful stroke.
Anderson shooting 53% from 3 over the last 10 games coming in. He shoots open shots, he shoots good shots, and that one gets Delaware lead right back, 53-52. On the drive, it's Reddish from 10 feet. Baseline, a miss, a tap out. It's Anderson, sideline left. 8:41 to play. Delaware a 1-point lead thanks to the man with the basketball a moment ago. It's Allen back to Anderson. Anderson will pull the trigger again. This one's going to be short and no one there to rebound for Delaware.
Well, he sensed the defender that Kevin Anderson had stepped underneath, and he tried to get that shot off quickly. A little bit of a heat check up top.
Riller on the drive. Smart missed and then reached around. No, Colin Gauss was going to be called for the foul. Gauss was kind of just standing there, I thought. And Smart initiates the contact with him. But it's going to be Smart at the free throw line, and Goss picking up his first. That's the 4th on Delaware.
Though Charleston does not score a lot in transition, they've really taken advantage of their opportunities here tonight to push the ball when they can. Riller's really good with crisp passes and vision down the court to get the ball to the right player at the right time.
O.C. Smart ties the score at 53. He'll get a second. The junior from Nigeria, went to high school in North Carolina. And he makes 1 of 2. 53 all, approaching the 8-minute media timeout. Allen will walk the ball up the floor for the Blue Hens. Brings it to the left side. Nate Darling with 14 points has it back to Allen. Allen inside to Mutz. Some contact by Epps will send Mutz to the free throw line for a 1-on-1.
Well, they're going to get Epps, I believe, for pushing off, trying to displace Justin Mutz from the post-up area out to more of a space post. And Mutz does a really nice job of selling that with low hips and draws the foul.
Mutz is 0 of 2 today from the free throw line, but 80% on the season, second best on the team. He has shot well this year from the line. He needs a pair here. Gets the first.
Just got too good of a stroke to miss these with any frequency. I just love his touch. He's got a great rotation, and the shot looks the same to me every time.
5 points for Mutz, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 23 minutes. And the second one good as well. Soft touch puts Delaware back up by 2.
Shooter's roll there, that backspin that he has on the ball always gives you a chance to make it if it stays around the front of the ring.
Both teams shooting 3 of 16 from three-point range. The last one made by College Charleston was Galloway, and he'll add another. Turns and fires from the right wing, and out a 1-point lead For Charleston, it's 56-55.
Ryan Allen was right there, but some good footwork and tripling there by Galloway created the space.
Anderson, miscommunication, and he throws it right to Martin Lisby on the bench. Another turnover, and the Hens are hurting themselves in that category, as they did in their last loss against LA. This contest. Martin Lisby talked with us in the pregame show, was proud of his 13 assists on 16 makes against UNCW on Saturday. Certainly not the case today.
Just a little bit sloppier, but I'm going to also credit Charleston. This is really a good defensive team. They're long, they're quick. They've scouted Delaware well, and they can execute, and they've played this kind of defense time and time again over the last 6 years under Earl Graham.
They lead by 1. Reddish to the right side. A high-handed layup is missed into the hands of Justin Mutz with help from Colin Goss. There's the stop Delaware wanted. Can they retake the lead on this possession? It's Anderson dribbling with his left hand into the paint, and contact, no whistle, a late whistle, and an offensive foul was called very late.
It sure was.
To be kind.
Late, maybe. I thought it was called tomorrow almost. Yeah. And that I think the official was trying to look to see if his feet were outside the arc.
It was Charleston's ball anyway, and we might have stopped the run out, but regardless, these officials have been hesitant at times tonight, and that time gives Anderson his 5th turnover and 3rd personal foul.
Scott, these officials are so wary about getting the block charge call wrong that they're very hesitant, as you described perfectly.
Riller, almost a perfect drive, did everything but finish as he crossed over, split 2 defenders, got inside, switched to the left hand, but could not get it to fall. Did everything but make the layup. 56-55. Charleston a lead. Darling, the only blue one in double figures. He's got the rock now. Gets it to Allen. Allen. Delaware needs a 3. Can't get one there. Mutz keeps it alive to Darling. Darling inside to Goss. Goss back to Mutz. Delaware will settle with a reset on the shot clock to 20. Hens struggling to say the least from three-point range, just 3 of 17. Darling on the drive, past McManus, double clutches, short. Goss tries to tip it, and he missed short into the hands of Sam Miller for Charleston.
Delaware certainly had their opportunities, just having some tough luck around the rim. They almost caught the 4th foul there on Riller as Nate Darling drove to the basket. That's one thing I would suggest. Let's go at Riller here a couple times in a row at the defensive end and make him work, but maybe pick up that 4th foul.
Riller spins, pass to a wide open Sam Miller. A break for Delaware as he front rimmed it into the hands of Anderson. Delaware 3 of 17 from 3. Charleston 4 of 17. Hence just 1 of 7 this half. Darling, can he change it from downtown? He cannot. Delaware has missed seemingly every single time they've had a wide open look from downtown.
Well, that was a wonderful flare screen on the backside by Colin Goss. A great skip pass. Nate got what he wanted, just a little off at the moment. But Delaware's still got to keep looking for that wide open shot, which it was.
Galloway feeling good from 3. Why not? Takes another and has his team up to their largest mark. It's a 4-point advantage, 59-55.
Galloway missed all 4 in the first half, and now he's gotten into rhythm. When a shooter like that gets in rhythm, he has to be forced off the 3. Make him a dribbler. He's not nearly as good off the bounce as he is from the spot.
A 6-0 run for Charleston. Delaware hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. Down by 4. Anderson, pull up, Jay. It rattled in and out, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Justin Mutz.
Well, that was a nice read up top off another screening action by Colin Goss. Justin Mutz really working hard to get himself in some offensive rebound position, but just enough of a block out to allow Mutz only to get his hand on it and not both hands before he would have secured it.
Delaware's missed 16 threes. A team that shot 52% from 3 just 2 days ago. Here's McManus spinning past Mutz, an easy 2, and Charleston on a run, and Delaware might think about using another timeout here.
And I think it would be advantageous. Martin sometimes likes his team to play through it, but I think he is going to get a stoppage here.
He calls the timeout.
We've got to stay with it. Let's maybe go back inside. We've got to make sure we don't have any empty possessions here, meaning any turnovers.
Delaware has 13 of those. 5 of them belong to the man with the ball. Kevin Anderson, pesky defender. Jasper defends him. Allen off the curl. A jab step. Riller defends. Mutz inside. Guarded by McManus. Cross court to Darling. Catch release. The 3 is blocked by Galloway. Another miss. And check that off the category of solid defense for College of Charleston. The 17th miss from 3 for Delaware. Approaching the 4-minute media timeout. And right now Delaware drops into a zone. Up top, Darling and Allen. Hens desperately need a stop. Riller, a three ball. And even he's feeling it. A 24% three-point shooter. And he drills it. A 64-55 lead for Charleston. Their largest of either team on the night. Corner, it's Darling. Inside Mutz. Turns and faces on Miller. Anderson straight away. 14 to shoot. Anderson the left side to Allen. Allen thought about passing to Goss. Instead goes to Anderson with 8. 8 to work for Anderson. Galloway almost thrown away. Now 5 for Allen. Allen leads into Riller. Draws his fourth. A heads-up play by Allen with 1 to shoot. And he'll get 3 free throws when we come back. Your first at ortho.com. Timeout score. Delaware, who led by 8, now find themselves down by 9. 64-55.
Protecting the ball, being efficient at the offensive end. But I don't think we could be afraid to pass up a good three if it's there. On the last play, Ryan Allen did a great job. He had Grant Riller off balance as he slid by him. And then the use of the shot fake got Riller to come back into him. And a really good play by Ryan Allen to get to the free throw line.
Bob Carpenter center silent for Ryan Allen, allowing him to concentrate. Makes the free throw, his first visit to the line today. Hens a good free throw shooting team, 13 of 17. After that make by Allen, add 1 to both sides. As he knocks in the second, will get another. Allen, team's best free throw shooter at 83% on the year. And a third try coming up for the junior from DeMatha Catholic. Third good as well. Big time shot from Ryan Allen, and Allison full court pressure. Riller has 4 fouls. They'll have to be careful not to be out of control on any drive. Delaware aware of that, so they'll attack on the offensive end. Most importantly, Delaware needs to stop here. Down 64-58, and the three ball not falling tonight for Delaware, shooting just 15%. Here's Riller. He's got 18 in 28 minutes. Mutz defense. Riller wants to take him off the bounce. Gets Mutz in the air. Passes back to Galloway. Galloway's made his last 3 tries from 3, and now he's going to get a chance at a 4-point play.
Well, they have a ball screen for Riller. He drives. He tries to get the man up in the air with a fake. He did, but he couldn't get the shot off. He kicks it to Galloway, who Galloway just rises right up in the shot. Galloway's going from a shooter that didn't look like he would make one in a month to where it doesn't look like he's going to miss one again.
He was 0 of 5 from 3. He's now 4 of his last 5, and he misses the free throw, but those 3 that Allen just made, the Cougars get right back. Lead back up to 9 as we go under 3 minutes. Allen to Darling. Inside to Mutz. Nearly a turnover again. He's at the elbow right side. Galloway got his hands on the ball. Nearly a 5th steal. Anderson picked it up. Cross-court pass to Allen in the corner, and the Hens have missed 18 three-pointers.
Nice stop by you, Scott. Good hands.
I was about to shoot a 3.
As the ball comes rolling over on the dislodged foul by Delaware right to the
21
table.
On the Blue Hens.
Just a frustrating night for Delaware. I know Martin's feeling it because a lot of these looks have been really solid. That was a skip through with some overhelp by College of Charleston on the other side. We almost had Riller in trouble again, but now he gets to the free throw line, and this is where this NBA-bound player wants to be in the end game.
We saw David Henderson here, former head coach of the Delaware Blue Hens, now a scout for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's here to see Nate Darling and Grant Riller. Riller makes 2 free throws and an 11-point lead for Charleston, as Delaware's not made a shot in almost 7 minutes of action. Unbelievable. The way this team shoots it, 50% on the year multiple times. I think in 7 games they shot over 50% tonight at 42%, but in the second half they are 6 of 21 from the field on Blue Hens.
Well, this is some pretty good defense by Charleston. They've really extended here in the second half, made it very difficult for Delaware to get a lot of good looks.
Darling, his pass was deflected. He got it back, lays it up and through. 16 points for Nate, but he's alone in double figures.
Delaware at some point here will probably have to start fouling. I don't think they want to let the clock run down too far. Clock conservation more important here than anything for Delaware.
That was Delaware's first bucket in over 7 minutes of action. Charleston going to work the clock. It's under 10. 1:44 to play. The bucket here will make it almost impossible for Delaware. Miller a 3. It's short, goes over the backboard, and the Hens at least a glimmer of hope with 96 seconds left.
Well, Miller's had a tough night from the field. He hasn't played as well as he would have liked. I think that's some good defense by the Delaware bigs on him.
9-point advantage for Charleston. Delaware has to go fast, and they've got to make some threes. They missed 18. A reach-in foul on Galloway, trying to strip the ball from Darling, and that's the 10th on the Cougars, so double bonus here. Darling will get a pair.
Well, Nate was trying to rip the ball through. Galloway, who's usually very good on the ball of applying pressure without fouling, that time he reached in and came down with his hands instead of maybe reaching in and coming up. When you come down, there's always a good chance that foul is going to be called.
Delaware 15 of 19 from the free throw line. Now 16 of 20 as Darling goes 4 of 4 from the stripe. 17 points in 35 minutes for Nate.
Well, Delaware's going to go with Johnny McCoy here to give us a little offense-defense so we can spread the floor defensively, as Charleston will probably spread us and try to let the clock run down. Maybe a little pressure here.
Darling misses his first free throw. Riller with the basketball. He wants to be fouled. They'll go to Galloway. McCoy allows him to get past. Back to Jasper. Charleston playing keep away. Hens down by 8. Jasper with the basketball now. Darling pressuring Jasper. Dribbles out of a double team. A pass to Galloway. 8 to shoot. Galloway's 3 on the way. It's off the mark. Delaware gets a stop. Here they come. Under a minute. An 8-point lead for Charleston. Behind the back dribble, Anderson. Anderson gets in close. Past Jasper. Gets 2 to his total. He reaches double figures with 11. A timeout by Delaware. That's their last. And now a 2-possession game as Jasper kind of led the game at that.
Like the attitude of the young man. I mean, he doesn't take himself too seriously, but he plays as hard as anybody in NCAA basketball.
Delaware full court pressure. Galloway having a tough time. Throws it out of bounds. Delaware's alive.
Little surprised that Charleston, with timeouts remaining, did not use one there. That was a bad mistake by the inbounder.
Anderson will inbound. Delaware down 6, 69 to 63. They've made only 3 of 21 from distance. O.C. Smart going to check in for Sam Miller. Riller on the floor as well. Anderson will be the trigger man. McCoy is on the floor. Mutz, Darling, and Allen can also receive passes. Allen off of a screen. Anderson can't get to it. They go to Darling, or want to go to Darling in the corner. Instead, it's Mutz on top. Darling has on the right side. Centers it. Picks up his dribble to Anderson, right wing. Long 3 for Anderson. Another miss from 3, and out of bounds it goes. And that's been the story of the night.
I understand the concept of the shot, but I think when you have a player like Riller guarding you or others, we got to drive the ball here. We got to try to get some clock stoppages. We had great success earlier on. Let's get into the lane. Maybe we'll get a help up. Maybe we'll get fouled, or maybe we'll get to the basket and score at the rim.
Yeah, he got antsy there, it almost felt like. As Delaware pressures again, Riller is trapped in the corner, passing, and a foul as McCoy went for the steal. Bumped Zach Jasper, who shoots 79% from the free throw line, and it's going to be a 1-on-1. That's the 8th foul.
And that's a good foul there. McCoy was trying to go for the steal, but it stops the clock, even though they're a good free throw shooting team. Now what we need to do is get multiple stops and multiple opportunities. So the more often you foul here in the end game, the clock doesn't run, we get multiple possessions.
69-63 is the score. Charleston went on an 11-0 run after trailing 55-53 to build an advantage. Now making some noise for Jasper, front end make. That's a clutch shot from a third-year sophomore from Augusta, Georgia. He's only a sophomore, but he went to 4 years of high school, 1 year of prep school, redshirted a year, and now in his second year of eligibility is Jeff Jasper. So there's a veteran player who has 2 years of eligibility left after this one.
Jasper is a really good on-the-ball defender. 9 points tonight. I just like his solid play, 3 assists, and no turnovers.
71-63 after 2 makes by Jasper. And the Hens have to score, foul, get some stops. It's going to be tough. Anderson to Allen. Allen, that's a long 3 fly, and he sailed it. 0 of 7 for 3 from Ryan Allen. A rebound, 0 of 8 for Ryan Allen from 3. Ryan made a 3 in all but 2 of his first 53 games of his career. Unless he gets one in the final 26 seconds, he'll now have an 0 on his stat sheet 3 times this season, including tonight.
Well, this is going to be a tough way to go down, having such a rugged night from the 3-point line. but a hard-fought game. I thought the crowd was really into the game for us. It was just that expanse there where, number one, they had Riller out of the game for almost 3 minutes, and we could not expand our lead from 4 points. And then the drought, where an 11-0 run by College of Charleston sealed it.
Riller made both free throws. Novakovic misses another three. Allen gets an offensive rebound. Ball comes loose. Jasper steals it. Allen fouls Jasper, and College of Charleston going to give Delaware their first loss in conference play in 2 tries. And Delaware had this one at least in a position where they had to have felt good. They had played well, and you just waited for the shots to start falling. We kept saying, well, they're 2 of 10 in the first half. They're going to make some shots. We said, Galloway's 0 of 5. He's going to make some shots. He did. Delaware never did their part in the change-up after the half. And credit to Charleston. This is the class of the CAA over the past several years. And Earl Grant has just done a phenomenal job with this program. And they have been the one thorn in Martin Ingleby's side. The only team that he has not defeated. As the head coach of the Delaware Blue Hens, and Jasper makes 2 more. It's going to look like a blowout in the box score, 75-63. But Delaware led for 27 minutes in this contest. Darling, Anderson for 3, and yet another misfire from long range. The story of the night, Delaware, 3 of 25 from distance, and